The following is a presentation of TFNN.
Let's go to David from Clearwater.
Hey, Steve, thank you for taking my call. I just wanted to pass a compliment to you. I've taken a lot of classes from Tom since I became a Tiger back in 2009, and they're always phenomenal classes. And last Friday was my first class with you. And just want to say, Steve, fantastic. You were well prepared. Material was excellent. It was timely. It was a really, really, really good class, and you kind of opened my eyes to a few things that have enabled me to use your terminology. Take massive action.
Hey, there you go. I love it.
Live at TFNN, The Trader's Edge, with your host, Steve Rhodes.
And he's picked out a landing spot that is a good 25 feet above the hull.
There's a good chance he doesn't get this inside the Marco's ball.
Well, here it comes. Oh, my goodness. Anything like that. This guy's pretty good.
Now, the author of Mastering Probability, Steve Rhodes.
All you wonderful money masters and treasure hunters out there. Welcome to the Trader's Edge. I'm your host, Steve Rhodes, and thanks so much for joining me, folks. I absolutely treasure your presence here today, and my outcome is to help you to become a better money master, folks. Now, I am absolutely here to inspire you, but mostly help you to create the foundation, lay the groundwork so that you can lead an inspired life. It is all about leading an inspired life, folks. And, my personal outcome each and every day, I hope it's your personal outcome as well, is just simply to always be able to increase your tools for life, your tools for trading. Just simply always increase your tools. Let's go take a look at one of our tools that'll help us do that. That's the tool of problem solving, folks. Now, when it comes to problem solving, what I'm really talking about is really journaling or putting it down on paper. How many of you have problems that you've got to contend with in life? Well, I think I could raise both hands. We each have problems each and every day. How often is it that you put them down on paper? When was the last time when you were dealing with a problem that you actually put it down on paper, folks? Journaling. It's one of the unique characteristics, or one of the unique characteristics of journaling is just simply what it does is it offers you a very effective way to really figure it out. When I talk about figuring it out, I'm talking about figuring out life, people, business dilemmas. Mostly, folks, though, is really about being able to figure yourself out. And it really is something magical about being able to put a problem down in writing. It's almost as if the thought about writing it down, it just simply, by writing it down, what it's going to do, you're going to take a look at what's wrong. But mostly what happens is you start to discover that there are ways to be able to make it right. Whatever problem it is that you're dealing with, there are always ways to be able to make it right. And when you put it down on paper, what happens? It creates space. It creates space between you and the problem. And it's really within that space, folks, where all the solutions are, and solutions start to grow. In fact, you'll find out there's more than one solution to a problem. In fact, you want to always make sure that you've got 3 solutions. Why? Because one solution, folks, what's that? That's an ultimatum. 2 solutions? That's a dilemma. 3 solutions, though, folks, and you've got choices. So write down your problems. Come up with at least 3 solutions. More is better. You put some space between writing it down. Just get it out of your mind. Put it down on a piece of paper, because when it's in writing, folks, what happens is you get more factual, you get more accurate, you get more realistic. And what that helps you do, folks, is on the visualization process. It helps you to see things the way they are. Always see things the way they are, folks, because that will create the clearness. I don't know that clearness is a word, but that will create, how about the clarity? That will create the clarity for you to be able to make things even better than they are. And that's what it's all about, folks. That is all about problem solving. So, should we go solve the problems of the market out here? It is British Open Thursday. So, what I love about British Open Thursday, that's a golf tournament, folks. For those of you not familiar with it, is that you can get up nice and early in the morning, 4, 5, and you've got golf. You've got live golf on. To me, that's a great way to be able to wake up in the morning. But I know you don't want to solve the problem of who's going to win the Open. you want to understand what the markets are doing. So let's go take a look at the markets right now. You had a big day yesterday. You had the Dow finish up 103 points. Right now, you've got the Dow futures up about 39 off of their highs. You got the ES Mini trading out right now at 1372 and a quarter. That is up about 5 points. So we're going to go take, and the reason why we're focusing on the futures, folks, and you can follow along with me here at TigerTV. Go to the homepage of TFNN.com. Click on Tiger TV. You'll be able to follow along, see the charts that we're looking at, And so yesterday, we had the index that we would take a look at. Closed out at 4. We can go take a look at that. But don't you want to know what's really going on in the market right here, right now? That's really all about the futures contract. We can see exactly what is going on out there. And what you can see is what happened so far this morning. We're talking the overnight hours this morning, is what the ES Mini has done is made a 100% move of a move. Coming into New Moon Thursday. New Moon actually came in last night at 11:25 Eastern Standard Time. So we're going to say today is New Moon Thursday out here, folks. So you've made a 100% move of a move. Now, oftentimes when you do that, what you do is you do something different. And when we take a look at price, the actual high we're talking about here is July 5th, folks. That high, 1375, even Steven. You got up to 1375 this morning, and you've backed off a bit. You're trading at 1371.75. What does that mean? That means we really need to drill down into the intraday time charts, meaning a 10-minute, a 30-minute, a 60-minute, whatever time frame it is that gives you the best signals out there, just to try to understand what's going on, because you would expect to get into this area and you would expect for it to pull back a bit. Now, the question is going to be, is this going to be a complete rejection of price? And we won't know until we watch how this trades. But let's go take a look at a shorter-term time frame out here. Let's go take a look at the 10-minute chart. We had a lot of, not a lot, but you've had certainly some bad news out there. Right? Jobless claims were up this morning, or not this morning, but the report came out at 8:30. So let's go take a look at 8:30 to 8:40 and see exactly what the market did in the futures market. At 8:40, between 8:30 and 8:40, what the market did was it created this bearish engulfing candle. In fact, let me go ahead and get rid of the actual lines that are on the chart here. And so you made a bearish engulfing candle. And on a 10-minute basis, it went ahead, and this is at the highs. And you've got to make it as the market is moving up. So you're making it at the highs. You've gone back, not you, but I'm referring to the market here. And what does the market do? It goes back and engulfs all the candles all the way into the 750 time frame. Pretty big bearish engulfing. However, that following candle didn't confirm it. It did not confirm it here. Maybe all that you're really doing here is making an A to B equals CD down at the moment. But you did not confirm it, and so the market's trying to fight off some of that bad news out there. So far, I would say you pay attention to the 10-minute chart out here. If we go take a look at the 30-minute chart, let's put it on a little bit longer time frame out here. I haven't done it, so let's go see what it is showing us. And on a 30-minute chart, what you do have, so on the 30-minute chart, you've got a bearish engulfing, and right now in this 30 minutes, you are getting confirmation. If you do get a close below, as we come to the 9 o'clock time frame, this is on the ES Mini, if you do get a close below the, 1373.25, that would be giving you confirmation that the move to the upside could be over, because you have made a 100% move. Where would the first place of support be? Well, I would say the first play of support, folks, is going to be coming back into yesterday's 10 o'clock time frame, right out at the 1363.50 area. Anywhere between 1363 to 1353. Of course, that's a long way down when you're trading out at 1372 right now. 877-927-6648. That's our call number. You can give me a call. We can take a look at your chart if you'd like. Let's go take a look at any ABCs that the market has been making out here. No, on the 30-minute chart, there's really several of them. Let's go take a look at the one off of the bottom. And when I take a look at what I'm referring to off of the bottom is where we see major intersections. So I'm going to go ahead and get rid of all of the lines out here. Excuse me. Let's get rid of the volume. Just simply it goes ahead and makes it a little bit larger for you on Tiger TV. So your major intersection came in right here with a bullish engulfing. It did that, folks, at about 11 o'clock in the morning on July the 12th. So that's going to be our A point. Now our B point out here, really what you would want to be taking a look at, because you had this pullback coming into the time frame at about 11:30 on July 17th. So if we go take a look at the A point being the low that I already pointed out, That low actual price, $13.1975. And we're going to use as the B point here. I'm going to go ahead and use the high that came in at 10 o'clock on July 17th. Only moved down for about an hour and a half into the low at 11 o'clock. Got down to the 1339.25. Now, what you're going to see here, folks, it's always a thing of beauty. You're going to see a 1-to-1 A to B equals CD. What's that completion point? 1376.10. You got the 1375. That completes the A to B equals CD. You just need to be really in that range. Oftentimes, you'll hit it right on the dot, but you don't need to. So now as you're completing an A to B equals CD, that would be selling the D point. You do have a little confirmation out here. You do have a bearish engulfing candle. And we'll see how this thing closes here as we come into the 9:30 session. You have to wait. We've talked about patience out there. So important to be patient, folks. That means you just sit there and you wait and you let the market tell you what it's going to do out here. If we take a look at what else is going on in the markets, and we'll take a look at what's going on around the world right now, you've got the DAX up 68 points, broke back inside its uptrend channel. In fact, we'll go ahead and switch over to the DAX here right now, and you can see the DAX is trading inside the May 2nd high. It actually closed inside there yesterday, and it's really important because we're all kind of connected here. It's a one-world market, and so yesterday when you had the DAX close, which was at 11:30, close into that May 2nd swing point, folks, it was giving you a bunch of information. Now, what is the DAX trying to do? Well, if we just simply take a look at a retracement, let's do that. If we go take a look at a retracement off of the high, the swing point high, we'd go back to be March 16, 2012, when the DAX traded up to a high of 7194.33, all the way down to the swing point low during this time period that we're looking at would be June 15th, when it gets down to 65.18. You can see you're up and over that 0.618 area. 0.786 happens to be, that's a retracement level. You want to understand your retracement levels out here. The 0.786 area, 69.20.43. Unless the DAX rejects this area, which certainly it can do over the course of the next couple hours, it wants to go at least test the May 2nd high. That would be out at 68.75.87. So we're going to want to be paying attention to the DAX today, folks, and you'll want to check in with Basil Chapman between 11 and 12, because following this show, you've got Tom and I doing the Money Masters show. Then we get on Thursdays, on Terrific Thursdays, we go up to Newton, Mass. for Basil Chapman, 11 to 12, out to Santa Fe, New Mexico, from 12 to 1 for Kate Stalter, Daryl Martin in Dallas, Texas, the Diagnostic Trading Hour, the newest member to the TFNN team, 2 to 3. That's lunchtime here on Tuesdays and Thursdays through the month of July. That soon will be filled 5 days a week with David White, 3 to 4, Ken Shreve, and 4 to 6, Tom O'Brien. So you do have the futures pulling back a bit, but, you know, we've gotten the signals. You completed an A to B equals CD. You got a bearish engulfing when you were right up there, and now you've got the market pulling back a little bit. As they say, something to think about. Clarity, folks. Put it down on paper. Open your mind up to solving all the problems out there. 877-927-6648. King Dollar up 9 pennies this morning. We'll be right back, folks.
Kate Stalter's exciting newsletter, Low Priced Leaders, has just launched, and now is a great time to get a 2-week free trial. Every Wednesday afternoon, Kate sends out her weekly newsletter to her subscribers, where she focuses on small cap stocks with market caps under $2 billion, as well as low-priced equities with share prices ranging from $5 to $12. Kate tracks a variety of stocks with a combination of strong technical support and solid fundamentals. Many of the stocks featured will be recent IPOs. These newer issues are often some of the biggest price gainers in the market and provide an excellent opportunity for substantial gains if timed correctly. You can catch Kate Stalter live on TigerTV with her small cap roundup every Tuesday and Thursday at 11 a.m. Eastern Time, and visit TFNN.com right now to get your 2-week free trial to her brand new newsletter, Low Priced Leaders, while locking in the low introductory monthly rate of only $37.50 per month, almost a 50% discount. Act now.
with the launch of TigerTV. TFNN has brought our programming to the next level. With TigerTV, you can gain access to each host's charts and computer screens as they host their daily stock program. Whether it's Tom O'Brien, Steve Rhodes, Basil Chapman, Ken Shreve, Kate Stalter, David White, Larry Pesavento, Victor Jones, or Daryl Martin, you can catch all of our technicians hosting their programs live and archived on TigerTV for your viewing pleasure 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. If you haven't checked out TigerTV, then visit TFNN.com and see what you're missing.
Millionaires are made every day. The fact is, living your dreams is possible. Someone, somewhere is going to get rich. My recommendation is, let that be you. Each day, someone is making the decision to better themselves and creating a plan to fulfill their financial dreams. Let that be you. The key to turning dreams into reality is to take massive action. Let that be you. I'm Steve Rhodes, co-host of the Money Master Show with Tom O'Brien, seen daily at TFNN, and I can help you with your journey to great wealth. I'll show you how to create the ultimate financial edge, a set of tools, insights, and strategies that are part of my daily newsletter service, Mastering Probability. You'll have direct access to me by phone, email, and my private library of trading and investing secrets for 30 days with an unconditional money-back guarantee. I'll take your trading to the next level. Click on my name, Steve Rhodes, on the homepage at TFNN.com and turn your dreams into reality. Mastering Probability, folks. Let that be you.
Are you looking for a precision edge in the market? Something that can stack the odds in your favor? Then look into Larry Pesavento's new trading newsletter, Patterns, Profits, and Peace of Mind. In each weekly issue, Larry explains what's going to happen in the markets based on the pattern he sees developing and gives you actionable trade ideas based on those patterns. Plus, you'll get his detailed analysis on a variety of markets and sectors, including stocks, treasury bonds, the gold market, oil, the dollar, the forex market, and more. And you'll get the Technical Corner segment, which is a short but powerful weekly training session on trading. You'll get access to all the patterns Larry is seeing in the markets, plus the Astro Harmonics and powerful Bradley stock market model that Larry utilizes for less than $5 a day. An extremely potent combination that will give you just the edge you've been looking for. Try Patterns, Profits, and Peace of Mind absolutely free for 2 weeks. Go to TFNN.com and click on the free trial link at the top of the page. That's an $85 value, yours free when you register right now. Get Larry's Patterns, Profits, and Peace of Mind and get the edge you've been looking for.
Many of our new listeners have heard about the Tiger's Den, but wondered, what exactly is it? The Tiger's Den is a lively community where professional traders and investors can meet, exchange ideas and information in a comfortable, moderated atmosphere. Hear all of your favorite TFNN shows, plus see all the charts as they happen live during those shows, and have access to archives of those charts. You can test drive the Tiger's Den absolutely free for 30 days. It will greatly enrich your knowledge of these markets. Details on the Tiger's Den are on the front page of TFNN.com. This segment is brought to you by TFNN. Test drive all the newsletters for free at TFNN.com.
Welcome back, folks. Let's go to Rich in Orlando. Rich, thanks for calling. Thanks for holding.
Morning, Steve. Morning, Steve. How are you?
I'm doing great. Yourself today?
Pretty good. You know, what you were talking there about journaling, I mean, that whole idea just helps you to focus, and I think that's really the key element in that. But it is a great concept.
Absolutely. It is, and, you know, each of us, you know, the way the universe works, it just always is going to throw problems at us each and every day. And so you just put it down on a piece of paper, walk away for a minute, clear your mind, and just start coming up with solutions.
Yeah.
It works. It works, folks. So, thanks for the comments, Rich. I appreciate that.
Well, since Bank of America didn't perform the way I expected it to yesterday after the earnings, I kind of would now looking at something like the directional mid-cap bear, the MIDX.
Oh.
The question really is, or MIDZ, I'm sorry.
Yes.
Is like, where is it? The 2140 might be a good entry point if it tests that, or do you think maybe it's going to come down to where the volume was at the 2046?
Well, let's go take what he's talking about, folks. He's really talking about the S&P 400, not the S&P 500.
Oh, so, is that right? I'm sorry.
Yeah, if you're looking at the mid cap index,
correct.
So you'd really take a look at the S&P 400 out there. So I don't know if that was what your intent was, but I did want to be able to respond. So if you take a look at the mid caps, really doing the same thing as the general market. If you take a look at the mid cap index yesterday, it got up to a high of 951.98. Now the low of July 5th is 9. 950, 231. So didn't get quite up there. Looks like that area wants to get tagged. And so if I go over and take a look now at the actual ETF, and you really want to be, what you'd want to do, Rich, is you'd like to, if you've got a charting system and you've got both of them, you'd like to have the index up as well as the ETF, because I don't know, if the ETF, is exact. You get fees in there and so forth. So let's go take a look at the actual ETF that you're looking at, MIDZ. And is that a direction share?
Yes.
It is. Okay. So, you're taking a look at 2212 is where that closed at yesterday, and that is coming back into the swing point. I imagine it's going to be the same swing point. See, in this case here, it actually touched the July 5th swing point, whereas the actual index did not. That's why it's always good just simply to understand what's going on in the actual underlying instrument. But I would venture to say, you'd be taking a look at the actual index. An entry point on this could certainly be the 2140 area. At 2140, if it gets below 2140, it would come back and it would tag May 1st. And that's really where, I would be taking a look at it, unless I'm just going to take a look at the pre-market here. Yeah, so the pre-market should pop a bit. And what I would say is I would be patient here and see how the index actually handles that swing point. Because you got the DAX that's up this morning. It's up and over. You've got King Dollar certainly is pulling back, so you got the directional piece of it, and you just need to see how these swing points here, get handled. I will say that in taking a look, as we were at taking a look at the ES Mini on the 30-minute chart, and that's not yet completed, this last candle. It's got 3 minutes, but it is giving us an indication. Now, it completed a 1-to-1 A to B equals CD, so it is giving an indication that it wants to pull back, but that still needs a couple of minutes before we get even confirmation on that. So pay attention, if you can, to the mid-cap index. That is MID, is usually a dollar sign or some type of symbol in front of it on a charting platform. But go ahead.
One further question. There's a gap there, like on May 6th, and it looks like when it came back here in July, when it came down to that 2140, it sort of like closed that gap.
May 6th.
At least on the chart that I'm looking at, it doesn't seem
May
like
4th. I see May 4th.
Well, maybe it's May 4th.
Okay.
Yeah, it's right before the 7th or something. Yeah, maybe it is May 4th that there was a gap. And then when it came down in July to the 2140,
yes,
it looked like it closed that gap, which I thought was good, and I thought that it was on later volume.
Actually, it was 55 million going into 38. So when it came back on July 5th, a day after a holiday, people still, not really back to work just yet. That was 55 million coming into that gap that had 38 million. Now, the actual gap up had 84 million shares. But what you really like to see is it come back into the breakout area. This here obviously being an inverse, but breakout area, you'd like to see it come back in there. You would have loved to have seen it come back in there with less than 38 million shares. But again, it's almost as if you really have to be paying closer attention to maybe the top 10 holdings inside it. But make sure that you are paying attention to the index, not just the ETF, okay?
Good enough. Thank you.
You bet, Rich. Have a great day. Folks, we get back, you get the Dow is going to pop just slightly at least. You get the Dow up about 20 points or so. ES Mini up 4. Give us a call, folks. We'll be right back.
In quiet markets, investors search for new trading opportunities. We'd like to introduce you to a new product that provides opportunities even in flat markets. Nadex, the North American Derivatives Exchange, is a new and innovative Chicago-based exchange registered with the Commodity Futures Trading Commission, and unlike most other exchanges, Nadex allows you to trade directly through them with direct market access when using their trading platform. Nadex never charges a fee to use their platform, which even includes real-time charts and full customization capability. Nadex's unique short-term binary options allow traders and investors to capitalize on strategies even when the underlying markets are quiet. Nadex's innovation has allowed them to come up with a line of unique trading products that are unavailable anywhere else. See how it works at nadex.com. That's NADEX.com, or click on the Nadex banner on the front page of TFNN.com. Futures and options trading involves risk and may not be appropriate for all investors. Would you like a personal update from Tom O'Brien as to what equities he's trading and what his daily trading plan is before the market opens each morning? Every market day, Tom O'Brien sends out his daily newsletter, Market Insights, to hundreds of subscribers that rely on his daily recommendations when it comes to navigating these highly volatile markets we're dealing with. As recently as May 21st, Market Insights subscribers closed out all 5 open positions for a combined profit of over 68% in one day. Profits ranged from 6.5% to over 24%, and all of these trades had been initiated within the previous 30 days. Now is the perfect time to get a 2-week free trial to Tom O'Brien's explosive trading newsletter, Market Insights, an $85 value. Tom breaks down the market each morning with his market take and provides trade recommendations including precise stops and target profit zones, leaving nothing left to guessing. Log on to TFNN.com today and sign up for your 2-week free trial. Make sure you're a subscriber the next time Market Insights subscribers close out multiple winning trades. Take action and sign up for your free trial today. If you're an investor looking for a great weekly investment newsletter, then now is the perfect time to try out Ken Shreve's Ultimate Growth Stocks. Every Tuesday, Ken breaks down multiple sectors in his weekly newsletter, Ultimate Growth Stocks, with a full in-depth report including specific trading recommendations within his model portfolio, charts, sector analysis, upcoming economic data, along with intra-week trading updates on newsletter positions whenever the market dictates. Right now, you can receive a full month, that's 30 days, to evaluate Ken's newsletter free of charge to see if it fits your trading plan. At less than $75 per month, Ken provides you with his expert trading advice that can pay for itself in no time. Take advantage of this great offer by signing up for a 30-day free trial to Ken Shreve's Ultimate Growth Stocks today. Don't let this offer pass you by. Visit the front page of TFNN.com and sign up now.
What type of investor are you? Conservative, moderate, or aggressive? No matter your investor personality, your overall portfolio should reflect your financial goals, time horizon, and your risk tolerance. Help ensure your portfolio is appropriately invested with an asset allocation plan from Morgan Stanley Smith Barney. Simply picking the right stocks is not enough. Research has shown that choosing the right proportion of stocks, bonds, and cash is essential to the success of your long-term investments. Morgan Stanley Smith Barney believes that a carefully selected portfolio can lower volatility and increase investment return potential. Find out about what asset allocation and the Morgan Stanley Smith Barney financial advisor can do for you. Call Angela O'Brien, First Vice President and Certified Financial Planner of the Clearwater, Florida branch at 727-441-6108 today to discuss your personal financial needs. Asset allocation does not assure a profit or protect against loss in declining financial markets. Investments and services are offered through Morgan Stanley Smith Barney, LLC. Member SIPC.
This segment is brought to you by Think or Swim. For more information, just click the Think or Swim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
To the races. You got the Dow up 27 points. S&P's up almost 4. Composite up 19. Small caps up 3. So lead the charge on the way up. You got the composite up 0.7% right now. Microsoft up 16 ticks. Intel down 3. Google up $9 and change. Apple up $4 and change out here. Let's see, really popping to the upside. You've got Mellonix Technology, MLNX. They're up 36%. I believe that is on some approval, some FDA approval out there. And so we'll go take a look at that stock up big this morning, up $23 and change. You've got Google, as I said, up $9. IBM popping up $6 after earnings release last night. So we'll take a look at that. PPG Industries up 5%, up $5.58. VF Corp, VFC up $3 and change. It's up, up $5 and change, up 3, almost 4% out there. Georgia Gulf Corporation, GGC, up 16% this morning, up $4.64. Select Comfort, the Sleep Number guys, they're up this morning, up 22%. We'll take a look at that. That stock having been hammered, so we'll go see what's going on inside the Sleep Number people, up $5. Amazon up $4, $5. Apple up 450. eBay having a big day, up 10% right now, trading up $3.74, and up and over the swing point here from June 19th. That swing point has 18 million shares. So far at the open, you've done 4 million shares. So it's got volume to take out that swing point. You'd really love to be able to see on eBay a close above 43.94 if you can hold on to its gains. To the downside, you've got Laboratory Corp, LH, the ticker symbol, down 5% this morning. Sherwin-Williams, the paint people, getting painted in red this morning, down $4 and change. That's off 3%. Ignite Restaurant, IRG. I don't know what kind of restaurant. What are they? Ignite Restaurant Group. We'll have to see what they do, but they're getting hammered this morning, down 22%. Quest Diagnostics, DGX. They're off 5%. F5 Networks off almost 2%. American Express trading down 3%. CVS Caremark off 4.5%. Johnson Controls, JCI, off 7%. Again, our call number 877-927-6648. So let's go take a look at some of these stocks, see how they are popping. What I do have up on my screen here is eBay, and having a nice morning out there. So I'm glad to see that, and I wonder why. Let's go take a look at Mellanox Technologies, MLNX. They're having a heck of a party out here, MLNX. So let's go see what they are doing. Trade down at 91.33 right now. So it has a third gap up. So this is setting up a three-gap play to the upside. Of course, you could almost say that that's what they're having right here, right now. In fact, you would say that is what they are having. Your first gap here, folks, coming back in January 2012, January 25th, 2012, had a high of 32.01. And the low on the following session, 34.55. That was your first gap, and a small gap. You then, somebody have to do the measurements. Well, I can actually visually see this. You then have the next gap up with volume, with nice volume, meaning 5.2 million shares, and it does that the day of April 19th. Closes the prior session, actually the high of the prior session, 43.91 on April 18th. The low of the gap up day is 59.30. And what you do have going on this morning is it looks like you have a larger dollar gap up than you did on either of those two. I don't know whether you've got a larger percentage. So those of you that are in it, you probably should do the calculations, because if you do have both a larger dollar and a larger percentage from the prior gaps, that is what they call an exhaustion gap, folks. And so you'd want to be careful. Now, you got big volume. You've already done 1.5 million shares in the first 8 minutes of trading. But because of that three-gap play, I don't know why it works. I just know that it does work. And, folks, if you're in that, you should go do those math calculations for sure. Let's go see popping to the downside. Pool Corporation, P-O-O-L, they're down 10%. But let's go to Ignite Resources, IRG. Let me see what IRG actually does, what restaurant chains they are in here. Company profile. So Ignite Restaurant Group, together with the subsidiaries engaged in restaurant business. Okay, well, we figured that out. 117 restaurants under Joe's Crab Shack brand, and 117 under Brick House Tavern. Haven't heard of Brick House Tavern, TAP brand in 32 states. So Joe's Crab Shack, I guess there's a bunch of humorous statements I could say there. They got the crabs this morning. So let's go take a look at Joe's Crab Shack, IRG, see what it is actually doing out here, IRG being the ticker symbol. And other than being down about 21%. Must be in there. Oh, man. So this is an IPO that has fallen on its face. Now, this thing here, man, this is dangerous. Holy Toledo. Wow, wow, wow. This thing went, let me just refresh my screen here for us, just make sure that I've got everything. So it looks like this was an IPO going back not too long ago, in the 1st of May, May 11th to be exact. Now, you did there was 5.4 million shares traded that day, and you're trading well below that. Volume-wise, so far in the first 10 minutes of trading, 438,000 shares. Now, you're probably not going to do 5 million shares, although I guess mathematically it is already on pace to do more than that. But Joe's Crab Shack, don't know where this thing will trade down to, but it is not a good showing out there today. There's a IPO that fizzled very, very quickly out there. Let's go take a look at Pool Corporation, P-O-O-L. My guess is they have something to do with pools. Let's actually see what it is that they do. We don't want to jump to a hasty conclusion there. Pool, P-O-O-L, they engage in distribution of swimming pool supplies equipment. So what's the matter? It's the summertime. It's the heat across the country. Why are they trading down here? Because I have to go take a look at earnings. Let me see what they actually must have come out with earnings out here. People aren't swimming. I got to type in the right ticker symbol, though. P-O-O-L. What is, so they have earnings guidance range of $1.75 to $1.82. That was in line with what they had out there. Their sales $1.1 billion versus $1.02. Earnings per share $1.42 versus $1.17. You've got sales $757 versus $706 a year ago. But let's go put that back up here on the screen and take a look and see what it's actually trading down into. P-O-O-L. I think I got it right this time. There we go. So gapping down this morning, trading out at 36.49. And let's go see what pool is going up against here. Let's put this on the weekly chart. Be a little bit easier to identify the high volume bar out here. And this is a stinger because the high volume bar on Pool Corporation takes you all the way back to July 2009 out at a price point of somewhere between $24.05 to $17.55. And the stock has had one heck of a nice run. Let's see, as it came up into the highs, does this give us any kind of signals? No real signal. Let's take a look at yesterday. Looks like it might have been a bearish engulf in the close. On July 6, 41.03. What did it open up at yesterday? 40.98. So no bearish engulf and no real signal out here that jumps off the charts at me. But this thing here now could just simply do a normal retracement. Now, we know a normal retracement, folks, off of a swing point low to a swing point high is going to be what? Which magical Fibonacci number? Exactly, 0.382. So if we take a look at that, 0.382 takes you down to $29.78. But what you do have is volume off the top today. And that is not a good thing to see in any chart pattern. And because it was making, some not all-time highs, but it was making a nice comeback, coming all the way back, making a move, coming back to June of 2007. So now you've got volume coming off the high. So far today, Pool, in the first 13 minutes of trading, 864,000 shares to the downside. That area here that we took a look at as being a resistance area actually is also at the 0.382 level, which is 29.40. So Pool Corporation headed to 29.40 in a hurry. It's at 36.20 right now. Let's go take a look and see what IBM is doing out here in the how this is trading. That was headed into a swing point as well. IBM. Okay, so IBM gapping up nice this morning, has some pretty decent volume. Had good volume yesterday coming into the swing point going back to July 2nd. So coming already into that area now, that swing point's going to have some fairly light volume. So IBM should be able to hold today if there's some reality behind this move here. That swing point from July 2nd, 2.8 million shares. What IBM has done today, already 1.5 million shares at 944. So it's got the juice inside there. In fact, you would expect it to close inside. That would be the low of 194.85. The high is 197.20. It really ought to be able to take out that swing point. Well, what else is it going into? It's coming into this downdraft area here. Actually, here's the volume bar. The volume bar is June 22nd, so that high is 194.88, 8.8 million shares. But it's got the juice to close above that today. So you're going to want to pay attention to the, you're certainly going to pay attention to IBM today because that will help you to understand what's going on inside the Dow. Why? Because it's 11% from a weighting structure inside there. So you clear this area, that sets up moving back to the June 19th area of about $200 even, $199.99. Almost sounds like it's on sale. How about that, folks? So let's go take a look at the ETF structures out here. Let's go see what they are doing this morning. We'll go ahead and put it on the shorter term time frames as soon as I can find that little tab on my screen. There we go. So let's go take a look at the ETFs out here. We'll take a look at the Qs, which had been weak yesterday, waking up, having some strength this morning. You do have some volume behind the move in the Qs at 940. You've got some 2.9 million shares, so pretty decent volume there, 5 minutes after the gap. So I'm looking at a 5-minute chart here, folks, just simply because you've only traded for 15 minutes, so we ought to look at 4 candles, 3 to 4 candles out here. So on the Qs, what you don't necessarily want to see here, folks, is a close, is it start moving below the open. That open on the Qs, 64.77. Let's go see what else is going on in the other 4 ETFs out here. Let's go to the SPYs next. So take a look at the 5-minute chart on the SPYs, having some decent volume rate at the open, 4.8 million shares, and not really much else to report out there on the SPYs. Let's go take a look at the IWM. The IWM, which had been strong, has gotten weak. So it is now the weak link in the chain. Back to the weak link is reclaiming that title, in my opinion. So you've got the small caps here gapping up this morning and they open on the first 5 minutes with 2 million shares, trading a little bit lower right now. And in fact, it's trying to attack the open low. That open low, 80.49, you're at 80.53. As it comes back into that area, it's coming back in with light volume. It's taking it out right now. Of course, we have 4 minutes left. So in the first minute of trading, do 195,000 shares, but it did gap up with 2 million shares out there. So the weak link showing some weakness out here. Let's go take a look at the diamonds. If we take a look at the diamonds, see how they're trading. At the open, they gap up with 226,000 shares, trading near its session highs. Session high so far being 129.43. It's trading out at 129.34 right now. So not giving us any indication of any kind of sell-off weakness right here at the open. What is going on inside the marketplace is, let's go take a look at the U.S. dollar index, which really means we're going to take a look at the euro. But let's first go start with the king, see what the king is actually doing out here. The king having a real strong day right now, folks. It's trading at or very close to the top of its session. Trading out at 83.22, the actual top 83.25. Now, when we take a look at King Dollar, we're going to look at a couple of different things out here. Let's first take a look at the A to B equals CD pattern that it created. So you know that the markets are always moving in A to B equals CD legs out here, no matter what time frame it is that you're looking at. And the A point here being the low of June 19th out at 81.39. Your B point being June 28th, the high out there, 83.07. Pulls back pretty good, pulls all the way back to 81.56. So 1 to 1.272 takes you to the 83.69 area. Now, we know the U.S. dollar index traded up higher than that, actually got to $83.99. What you also want to do is you want to take a look at expansions of swing points. Always looking at expansions and contractions to see what else is going on out there, because you're always looking for a range, folks. You're not looking to be exact. In fact, if you're looking for perfection, you need to go do something else. Anything where you want to be a failure, because you can never achieve perfection, folks. So don't try to shoot for that. That's the wrong thing to shoot for. So we're taking a look at ranges here. Now, if you take a look at Fibonacci expansion, you'd go from the high of June 28th, that's your swing point high, that was at the 83.07 level, all the way down to the low on June 29th at 81.56. You take a look at that area there, and if you take a look at what the U.S. dollar index did, was it made a 1.618 expansion of those two swing points. That number, $84, and it only got to 83.99. That, folks, is extraordinary, and that's what you want in life. You just simply want to be extraordinary and outstanding. That's what it is that you shoot for. Then, what does the King Dollar do here? I'm going to get rid of those lines out here. What does it do? It makes a bearish engulfing candle. It engulfs the two prior sessions, taking back the July 12th, taking back July 11th. You get a close lower. Now what you've got is King Dollar here should be making its way down to the 0.618 level. However, the 0.382 is stopping it in its tracks. Of course, that's pretty normal, folks. 877-927-6648. Dow's up 32. S&P's up 4. We'll be right back.
You've always taken the long view when it comes to investing, but what if there's an opportunity right under your nose? What if you could be more responsive to market trends to seek to boost your portfolio performance right now while seeking to reduce your overall risk? At Direction Funds, we connect investors with alternative strategies that seek to maximize their returns. Smart investors deserve smart alternatives. Find yours at directionfunds.com. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of Direction Funds carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction Funds. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact the Direction Funds at 800-851-0511. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. Investing in index funds may be more volatile than investing in broadly diversified funds. Distributed by Rafferty Capital Markets, LLC. David White's newsletter, The Technology Insider, is focused like a laser on finding the next big things in technology. If you had invested only $10,000 in Microsoft in 1986, you'd have been a millionaire by 2000. Disruptive technology like Microsoft's is the key to these massive long-term profits, and the Tech Insider is the vehicle from TFNN to capitalize on these opportunities. This is the go-to newsletter that identifies, monitors, and profits on mostly little-known cutting-edge companies with great long-term prospects. David's experience is as an inventor of Emmy-winning animation products for TV and Hollywood that propelled a company public. Match that with 14 years as a full-time trader, and he's uniquely qualified to guide you through the light-speed world of ever-evolving high-tech. If you're ready to ride the next big technology bull market for less than $40 per month, log on to TFNN.com and get your 2-week free trial to the Technology Insider. Get in on the ground floor of the next big thing today.
Put the power of the Chapman Wave methodology to work for you. No matter what market you trade, what time frame you trade in, or your trading style, the Opening Call, Basil Chapman's daily market newsletter, is bursting with the information and trades you need to become a more successful trader.
I've been using Basil Chapman's Chapman Wave methodology for several years now. His Chapman Wave can be used for any time period for not only equities, but futures, currencies, commodities. I've been also a subscriber of his Opening Call, which I find an invaluable tool to help me analyze the potential of the market each day. He gives you opportunities to go short and long. It includes recommendations on stocks. I strongly recommend people using the Chapman Wave, and I very, very strongly support the use of his Opening Call.
To find out more about Basil Chapman and his Chapman Wave methodology, and to get your 2-week free trial of the Opening Call, a $64 value, visit TFNN.com today.
In just December of last year, the price of gold was down over 10%. In today's highly volatile gold market, you need someone in your corner that understands the complex relationships that exist within the price of gold, as well as within a variety of gold equities. Whether it's the South African gold miners and knowing how the rand-dollar relationship will affect their bottom line, or understanding how John Paulson's $5 billion trade in the GLD can move the market, Tom O'Brien gives you the direction you need to become a better trader each week in his newsletter, The Gold Report. With over 20 individual equities covered and almost another 20 on the potential watch list each week, in addition to covering the XAU, HUI, GLD, and dollar, The Gold Report is a great source for any trader that is looking to be diversified in today's volatile gold market. For your 30-day free trial to Tom O'Brien's Gold Report, log on to TFNN.com today. Don't miss out on this great offer. Act now.
Catch Tom O'Brien and Steve Rhodes as they teach you the art of mastering money when it comes to trading and investing. The Money Masters, next on TFNN.
Welcome back, folks. Have the Dow up 39 points right now. What I do have on the screen here is the 30-minute chart in the euro, because we were looking at King Dollar before we went to break, and it really is primarily all about the Queen. It's all about the euro out here. So the euro moving down fairly well this morning here, but what it was doing was it was making a 1.618 expansion. We're looking at a 30-minute chart out here on the euro, trading out at 1.22393 to be exact. It traded all the way down into the 1.22366 level. That was a 1.618 expansion of its last set of swing points. Also happened to be about a 0.786, very close to a 0.786 retracement off of a swing point, a hammer candle, as a matter of fact, that came in at 11 o'clock on July 17th out here. So what you can see, what the euro is doing right now, it is still, as it made its lows, and the lows that it made, folks, if I switch over, I'll see if I can switch this chart here to the daily chart. It made a butterfly buy pattern. In fact, it did that last Friday, and it made that beautiful butterfly, 1.272 butterfly buy pattern. And you can see ever since that low, and that came in on July 12th, that was out at 1.21656. That's why you want to understand, expansions and contractions of swing points. So go back to the 30-minute chart here for you, and you can see ever since that low what the euro is doing. It continues to make higher lows and higher highs. So right now it is in a uptrend, and if that area breaks, that'll certainly put pressure on the markets here. And, and you'll see the move basically expire with it being a new moon Thursday out here. Let's go take a look at Select Comfort. I did say that we would do that, so I didn't want to tease you here. The sleep number, folks, let's go see what that stock is doing. I think we were looking at one of the Tempur-Pedic or one of the other stocks yesterday. So Select Comfort here bouncing up this morning. Now, what is it? Earnings? Let's see what the Select Comfort here has to say, if I can find the Select Comfort, SCSS. So they just simply, let's see here, if I can find the earnings. Okay, so Select Comfort, their second quarter revenues, $205 million versus $161. That's nice. You've got net income, $17 million versus $11. Nice growth there. 30 cents versus 20 cents a year ago on the earnings per share. So they had a good quarter. Let's go see what Select Comfort is doing, because Select Comfort, did have the, let's just say their sleep number got a little bit worse on June 6th when you had 12 million shares come out of it as a gap down. So right now what Select Comfort is doing today, it's getting back to the area where it broke down. And it's above that area. Where it broke down is on June 5th. That had 888,000 shares. The high of that candle was 26.03, the low of 24.87. So you're trading certainly above that. So that had 888,000 shares so far today. 1.6 million shares. So you do have volume. That is now coming into the swing point. Well, the swing point on Select Comfort, next one that you would look at would be May 25th, 2.2 million shares with a price point high of $29, 29 even. So it is inside that. It should go up and tag that area, $29. That is on Select Comfort. This still has a larger A to B equals CD down. Let's just put this on a weekly chart out here. So if we take a look at a weekly chart, let's get rid of the ABC that's out here. And on the week, what Select Comfort is doing. So if you take a look at the real breakdown, new call breakout when the stock is moving up, I'll call it a breakdown when it is breaking down, is going to be the July 1st area. So it's inside that candle. It's in there with volume. That says that at least ought to get up and tag that $29 area. The actual candle for June 1st high is 28.71. Folks, time just absolutely flies too quickly around here. That's why I get to do another hour with Tom O'Brien. So stay tuned. The Money Masters coming up next. Then we go to Basil Chapman, Kate Stalter, Daryl Martin. 2 to 3 is lunchtime for you, folks. Then we go to Ken Shreve and the Tom O'Brien Show. Have a great morning. Take care.